Hello everybody and welcome to the Sketchbook Files episode 5. Today I'm going to be rolling the nerd dice again and generating a prompt and then drawing it, so we will see how that goes. Before we get started though, I would like to thank my patrons on Patreon. You guys make it so that I can buy extra art supplies every month, and for that I am eternally grateful. Links in the description and at the end of the video, and thank you very much. All right, and we have our theme prompt booklet here, whatever it's called, I can't remember, and our piece of paper. So let's roll the dice, see what we get. We've done a couple things off of here, so I reserve the right to re-roll anything, and we need to start with things, not themes. So we have a 20, a 17, and a 7. So 20 is abstract or surreal. A 17 is tools, instruments, or weapons. And 7 is structure, building, or architectural. So let's do some sort of building or structure, whatever. And let's see what's the theme. We got a 17 or a 20, so a nuclear, atomic or radioactive, or pre-industrial, Victorian, or steam. I guess let's go with, I don't know if I'm feeling that. That sounds too complicated for me tonight. I'm a little bit tired. So let's go with atomic, nuclear, or radioactive, which is just the modern version of steam powered, but that's okay. And then 20 will be our third prompt, which is going to be something has to be transparent. So let me write all this down real quick and we will get started in a moment. Okay, let's get the nerd dice out of the way here, and I will draw a quick thumbnail. See if I can come up with something. I'm thinking one of those cooling towers, maybe. But maybe we'll make it like kind of futuristic and crazy, so we're not just drawing a radioactive cooling tower. And then I'm thinking a big transparent water tank, or like a transparent tank with the rods in it. Maybe we'll try and keep it simple and just have it be a big water tank that feeds into the nuclear, I don't know what those things are called, the big tower things. Anyways, I'm going to draw a thumbnail real quick here, and then we will get started. All right, so if you didn't notice, if it wasn't apparent on the thumbnail here, what I decided to do, because I was just gonna do the prompt strictly, But then I was like, oh, just making it like a nuclear power plant would be pretty boring. So what we're going to do is sort of a nuclear powered, like, cyber wizard tower. So that should be fun. I've got my thumbnail right here. Kind of give me an idea of what to go off of. And let's sharpen up our pencil. All right, so we're gonna start with sort of a hillside here for it to be perched on. And yes, we'll do something kind of like this. Very exaggerated, kind of cartoony style is what I'm going for here. And then we will have the base of the tower coming up. It's going to be all wonky, kind of held up by magic and nukes, apparently. Here we go. I'll sketch in kind of a patio section here. And then having it come up, getting narrower till we get to the top, which is going to be a big peak, sharp pointed roof sort of thing. There we go. And then I want the other one, it's going to have two sort of tops here. So I'm going to start on the top on this one because I want it sticking out of the frame like that. There we go. And then we'll give it kind of a bridge connecting the two together. And just draw some quick little contour lines here. Bing, bang, bong. All right. Whoa. Get a little too loose. Let's have some, I don't know, some spiky things coming up for whatever reason. Maybe he's an evil wizard, or maybe he's just misunderstood. Who knows? Maybe he's just into spikes. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's give it some little oval-shaped windows here. Maybe a couple asymmetrical ones down here. Something like so. And then I want to draw a big like base to the building. I don't want it to just be these towers coming down, so let's erase that a little bit. Whoa, my stringy thing's trying to participate here. Have that come up. And then the base will kind of tuck behind. And this is where it's going to start to show that it's cyber wizard stuff right here. Something like that. We'll give it some little gibbets and greeblies, chunks and stuff. I have like some tubes coming down out from underneath the patio section here, like so. Just to give it some surface texture, give it a little visual interest, if you will. I had it poking up out of the frame in the the thumbnail, but I don't think I'm going to do that in the actual drawing here. I think having it come up right there is perfect. So I want part of this to be like a big dome down here, so I'm going to draw in just kind of a little dome shape. You know me, I love a good sphere, so do something like that. And then have a big chunk coming out here, and here's going to be the nuclear cooling tower part. Kind of poking up like that. Give it kind of a flange to sit on or whatever. So it's not going to quite line up with this other part that I have drawn on here. And we'll draw some tubes, some pipes. Some big old pipes coming out of the bottom here. All right. Something like that looks pretty cool. All right, now part of this has to be transparent. I'm thinking like a big water, excuse me, a big water reservoir for the cooling. So we'll put like a big tank right here. This will be see-through. Have some water kind of sloshing around in it. Maybe some bubbles. Add some bubbles. You guys like bubbles, right? Oh, we love bubbles. We'll give it a little cap piece because, I don't know, I think that looks a little more interesting. And now we need tons of tubes. Tubes for days. Some tubes coming over this way, sticking into the ground. Why not? All right. Oh my goodness, my voice is so gravelly today. All right, let's do some steam kind of pouring out of here. Let's do something like this. Can have this one coming up out of the frame. This part. Do something like that maybe. Just have it kind of looping around. All right. That looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? You like it? All right, me too. So let's give it a light erase. We've got our fine nib fountain pen here. Let's go ahead and start to outline everything with it. And I'm just giving this kind of a edge here because it's going to have shingles, shingle-like stuff. I'm feeling pretty loose today, so let's just roll with it. Keep it loose. That's fine. If you want to draw loose, no big deal. Some people say it's better to draw loose. It's probably true. All right. Let's do, I'm just picking out edges here. Grabbing the little shapes. A lot of this is going to be kind of improvisational, little details on everything, you know. So just have fun with it. Oh yeah. And if you're following along, go ahead and tag me on Instagram so I can see your rendition of the prompt. Whoa, getting a little too loose. That's okay. Yeah, I'm just feeling the loosey-goosey today, so whatever, let's roll with it. See what happens. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, we'd mess up a drawing? Oh no, it's the end of the world. I've been trying to keep my line work and stuff a little bit more flowy, so maybe it's a good thing. Keep it sketchy. I feel like I start to draw stuff a little too rigidly, and it starts to look rigid, you know what I mean? It's like you can tell if it lacks confidence, you know. Do a big old curl on that. Give it that wizard aesthetic, I believe it's called nowadays. That's actually really cool. I'm kind of digging it. Believe it or not. Loosey-goosey. Gonna line in these tubes here. And our cooling tower. Let's give it some gibbets and greeblies and whatnots. After all, it's a nuclear wizard cooling tower, not just a regular nuclear. Cooling tower. Oh, yeah. That's fun. Have the tube kind of jut out. Do like a couple more of those. Hey, I found a new fun thing to do. All my drawings for the next 2 months are going to have those tubes kind of jutting out like that. It's crazy how much detail you can impart in something with just a few little lines. And not even like very precisely drawn lines either. All right, let's get our water tank drawn. How I like to do transparent stuff is to kind of draw that line around it so you can see the edge. And then give it like a little section where you can have some glare, you know? Like maybe there's a glare right there. And then we'll draw the water kind of sloshing around inside. And if it doesn't make sense yet, it will make a lot more sense once I come through and shade it. Whoa, getting sloppy. There's the thin line between loose and sloppy sometimes. Let's draw some of this ground texture in here. Just like the larger chunks, right? Kind of like that. Very cool, very cool. All right, and oh yeah, I'm gonna add this. I think there's like a little extra components and stuff down here. Let's add some of those in. It's like, where does the building end and the ground begin? We can make it kind of ambiguous. All right, let's switch to our extra fine. All right, and we will outline these clouds. The line weight between this and the other pen isn't as drastic with the same ink in it, but it is noticeable. It's just a lot more subtle now that I'm using the same like black ink in it. which hopefully I'll be able to go back to using gray in this one once we're through this sketchbook. So that is really my favorite way to do the hatching and the contour lining and stuff, is with a gray ink instead of a black one. But we're just kind of doing this for now. All right, so let's get started on some hatching here. And we're going to start on the sphere. I like to get started on a sphere because it kind of gives me a shading reference. Place to start from, really. So if you haven't seen my hatching tutorial, I'll link it in the description. I'll show you kind of how I practice doing this anyways. I need to start working on another one. I just came up with an idea for it today, so it's in the mental factory or whatever. But yeah, we're just imagining our light source top left over the shoulder, over the viewer's shoulder. And I'm trying to not really overdo it with the hatching. Trying to let the negative space breathe here. I know I just kind of started in the middle here too. That was kind of a weird choice, but I'm a little tired. I've tried to make a couple videos today and I've just been having some issues. So this is not the first attempt. But it's okay. I took a break, had some dinner. Now I'm back at it. I'm tenacious. Gonna make it happen. I like making these drawing videos, but I've been kind of thinking about doing some other stuff. I don't know if I should start another channel or what, but I was toying with the idea of doing some animation, which is very time consuming, and I would probably end up doing that more than this if it did well. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. It'd be cool too. I have some kind of interesting ideas to get a little artsy fartsy with the drawings and stuff. As far as animation goes, like I could do like some pretty cool backgrounds, and then it would have to be like short films or something. I don't know. Little shorts. Let's see. This is definitely going to have a little hatching. Draw some contour lines coming across this way, like so. I guess these windows can be darkened in. I'm not gonna draw the whole sky dark, so we'll just darken these in. I guess I could have made it look backlit, maybe, like it was like dusky, but it's too late. I mean, I could still do that with the windows dark, but it'd be cool if they were lit up for something like that. Plus, we're trying to let some highlights breathe here, right? Oh yeah, let's do our little shingle lines here. They don't quite look like shingles. It looks more like hatching, like thatching. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Not hatching, thatching. It's a nuclear powered wizard tower with a thatched roof. Of course. Maybe it's been upgraded. Maybe it was medieval originally, and it's been upgraded to atomic. On some of this stuff, I'm just kind of grabbing shapes that I see. So if it ends up looking a little strange, it was all an experiment. Let's see. Is that a smudge or pencil? I can't tell. I guess it doesn't matter. It's there or it isn't. Oh, yes. Do some stuff like that. There we go. Keeping it loose. Keeping it loose. All right. And some of this stuff down here I didn't really plan out, so I'm just kind of BSing my way through it, just making up shapes and stuff as I go along. It's all like, you know, greeblies and gibbets anyways, so it's really easy to just, you know, if you put a shadow there, oh, suddenly that's the shape it is. You know, if even if it doesn't make sense at first, you can kind of adjust stuff around it to you know, make it work or whatever. Then as we start coming down around to this side, we want to start kind of getting a little bit darker with stuff, because this is kind of the shadowy side. Anywhere where it's going to be in shadow, we just, not too dark, but just kind of hatch solid over some stuff, you know, like this tube right here, maybe that's just completely in shadow, you know. So I think that's, yeah, a component or something. And like back here, you want to leave a little edge light, maybe the light's coming in that way. It's hard to tell with all these little details everywhere, but you know. It also, lots of little details tends to hide stuff a little better too. Unless it's like complete disaster, but hopefully it's not going that bad for anyone. Let's see here. Leave some of those as highlights. Okay, so for the inside of this, let's do some hatching, kind of coming down this way. We want it to get real dark up next to that highlight, that glare or whatever. So we can do something like that. And then maybe come up a little bit from here. That's like the back wall of the container. And then same thing under here, this water, we're kind of looking up and we're seeing that back edge. And we're just going to give that little back edge of the water just a little bit. This water kind of does some different stuff with light than solid or glass. We'll just give that like a little bit of a highlight back there. Something like that. Let's clean up this glare just a little bit too. Just a little bit of an outline on it. And then the top here should probably have something, let's see, something kind of going sideways like this maybe. That's not my best glass, but yeah, whatever. It's one of those kind of days. It's good enough. You want to see a better one, go look at the ramen. I did pretty good on that one. I'm not really sure why I don't like that. Not sure what went wrong. But whatever, who cares? It's fine. It's good enough. It's good enough. Let's see. Okay, so now we have to do some texture in the ground here. I think I'm just going to do a little bit of hatching kind of through these areas where it gets lower, where it kind of intersects with another piece, right? So we do something kind of like that. And then, yeah, you can come through and do like a little bit of contour lining too while you're messing with this. Just a little bit of stuff here and there, give it some texture. And honestly, it doesn't need to be super detailed. It's just like some ground. Nobody's really going to look at the ground all that much when they look at this, you know. they're just going to be focusing on all the little details in the wizard tower and all that stuff, so don't sweat it too much. Just kind of trying to give it like a little bit of a cartoony hillside sort of look here. So not really sure what happened over here. We're going to turn this into some little rocks, I guess. Maybe I was feeling extra loose there. A little too loose. It's okay, we can turn those into little boulders or rocks and then bulk up that line a little bit. Something like that. No big deal. You know, I got a little confused down here, so my ground is a little wonky. It's fine. I don't think it looks bad or anything, but you just make yours better than this one, and you should be good to go. All right. Let's add some little texture details here. Something like that. And I might come around. Yeah, I think at the end we'll come around and do a whole peripheral outline sort of thing here. So let's give it a little bit of hatching in the steam here. Like so. They love flying that helicopter right over my house. Thanks, guys. All right, let's do a thick sort of peripheral line, and then we'll do the border. All right, there we go. I threw a peripheral line and a border on there. I'm going to do a little bit of hatching to kind of vignette the sky and give it some texture, and then we will be all finished up. All right, that looks pretty good to me. I think we'll call that done. And that is our structure, nuclear powered, and a small bit of transparent stuff that I don't think is my finest work, but it'll do. It only took an hour, so we'll be forgiving with this one. Oh, and I just saw a tiny little spot, so that I forgot here. Maybe you guys noticed it too. But while I'm filling this in, I'll say thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And if you feel like supporting the channel, there's a link to my Patreon right here. It helps me buy art supplies and all that stuff. So thanks again. And I'll give it a little signature right here. Whoa, that's a wonky signature. That's okay, good enough. All right, anyways, thanks again, everyone. I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.